4 seasons lost. In Austin, I saw pause. My eyes crawled to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Roll dice and woes of life. Love and pride, look at her vibe. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise, crystal chandeliers, motives reflected. Often mirrors a pit, quick, grid from ear to ear. Craving that rain in the rain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near, stay there. Remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, we know our purpose. In paradise, we know what our worth is. In paradise, we manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you can see.
Boom. Yes, it is. The truth is what you can see. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. Of course, I'm your host, Matt Clark, and we have been having all kinds of crazy technical issues this morning. Basically, it's me. I know what a shock that it's Matt screwing up, and it is what it is. But we are in the process of trying to do a bunch of new things for uh, my upcoming new podcast and show that we're going to be doing. So it's been a challenge trying to get everything squared away and everything being what it is since we've changed up a bunch of stuff. It's really messed me up because it's the operator, not anything else. It's the equipment is fine. It's just the operator. After 3 years of doing things a certain way, they've been changed up, and so it's taken me a while to kind of figure it all out. And when I screw it up, I have to go back piece by piece to get it all squared away to say, okay, this is what works, this, and problem solve. So, but anyway, we're done and we're all set up and ready to go for today's show. First of all, the Thunder last night took care of business against the Kings and got to go to the game last night. Angel, what's up? Yo, what's up? Hey, trying to get all this new equipment stuff squared away. I added some new equipment, so it's messing with me, Angel, trying to get everything where it works properly. You know what I mean? It's going to take me a while to get used to it. So I had to come on and off like 4 times, go live 4 different times just to figure out, okay, it's not working. Why is it not popping on my YouTube? Why is it not popping on Facebook? Blah, blah, blah. But anyway, the Thunder, of course, took care of business one last night, which was a great game. Got a chance to go to the game. One of my friends called me at like 5 o'clock or 5:30 and was like, hey, you want to go to the game? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, well, here, we can't go. Here's 2 tickets. Would you like to go? I was like, oh, well, hell yes, of course I want to go. And so I got to go to the game with the bestie, my girl, Realtor Jen Pakistan. We got to go to the game last night. Ace, why are you here? Ace is being a real baby. But anyway, we got to go to the game last night. It was really good. And the Thunder came back and took care of business. We didn't play all that well. But once again, I don't like the new Jang, which of course is Brooke Barnheiser. I'm not a fan of his so much. I just wish that, Dagnall is doing what Dagnall does. And, we did not get a chance to do a show last night, Angel, after the game because of the simple fact that where I got to park in the parking garage. Well, hell, it takes forever. By the time we got to the game, we didn't get there until 7. I think is when we got there. The game had already started, so we missed most. I think it was like 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. By the time we got to the game last night, and so we had to park up on the top roof of the parking garage. Well, hell, by the last time we parked there, it took almost an hour to get out, so we thought, let's go to the Omni and have a drink. And then we ended up running into some friends and ended up staying there for an hour. And then by the time I got home and all that, it was, too late. So we'll hopefully do it tomorrow night. I doubt if we'll do a show. I may try to do one because it's Thursday, but we do play the Wizards, and the Wizards, of course, are terrible. So we know what that's going to end up being. So, but anyway, it was kind of great watching the game last night. I liked our team, even though we got Caruso back, which was nice, him getting out of concussion protocol. So that was nice getting him back in the lineup. But, it's just we're 5-0 without J-Dub. So the fact that we can win without him is a good thing. We didn't. Chet didn't play last night either, so we had no J Dub, no Chet, which of course we did last year. Still won without both of them last year. But the fact that we can still win without uh, arguably our second and third best player, we still got the job done, which I was really happy about to watch the Thunder and what they could do. And watching our team as a whole. And I think it's just maturity from the fact that we've been doing this for so long. And like I tell people all day long, I said, that young stuff they're still trying to talk about, they're finally coming to the realization that I've known for a while. We are what? We are at the point now where we played together so much, and we've been doing this for 5 years, 6 years now. Play great defense, SGA closes the door. That's what we've done. But now it's about getting into the playoffs, about everybody else catching up to him because he got to go to the playoffs his first year when he was with the Clippers. Then he got to go to the bubble to the playoffs the second year. And then the third year, of course, we didn't. And then we're back. So we've only missed 1 year of the playoffs with him as our leader. And that was the first year when they got rid of Chris Paul, got rid of Schroeder, got rid of, God, who else was it? Chris Paul and Schroeder. Oh, Gallinari. And got rid of all them. So it was kind of interesting to watch the development of this team. We've only missed the playoffs once since SGA's been our guy. Okay? But anyway, the Thunder are now 5-0. The Kings were 10 for 29 from 3. The Thunder 14 for 44. We shot 45% from the field. They shot 42. 46 rebounds to 44 rebounds. They out-rebounded us by 2. Pips, points in the paint, of course. Dominant once again, 52-34. And then we finally got more turnovers than somebody else. Because remember, the last game, we had more turnovers than they did, and which is a weird thing for us. I don't know if I ever remember that happening. If it has, that's only maybe been the second or third time ever that I can ever remember that we had more turnovers than our competition. That just does not happen that often. And then, of course, bench scoring once again, second game in a row. We outscored their bench. Second game in a row, we outscored the opposing team's bench, 33-25. So overall, I liked what I saw from the Thunder. Then when you look at the box score and what we shot as a group, still 31% from 3. It's just terrible. And you remember, and I'll pull it up next. We're going to do our team stats, and I do those every week. I try to upgrade those weekly because you have to have a few games. It's kind of hard to do it after every game, I think. I guess you could, but I'm going to try to upgrade them every 3 days, 5 days, but for sure every week we will do the team stats. You look at iHeart, 4 points, 14 rebounds. 14 rebounds, which means they were not getting offensive rebounds. That's what that says. 14 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks in 31 minutes. I thought he played really, really good last night. He shored up the middle. Jay Will, of course, played good again. I like what he's doing, even though he's not scoring a lot of points, and he's got to make threes. Dude, you're wide open for 3. How the hell are you missing all these threes? You're wide open. You got to go more. You should shoot 6 threes. You need to be 2 for 6, 3 for 6. Minimum. You're wide open. And that's the thing with our three-point shooting this year. It's just been, I don't know, because we led the NBA last year in three-point shooting, is the fact that we're just casual with it or not focused with it or something. I'm not sure what the hell this situation is with our three-point shooting, but we're going to have to do something with that. SGA, of course, 31 points in 36 minutes, 14 for 26 from the field, 1 for 5 from 3, 2 free throws. The second game in a row, he shot 2 free throws. 2 free throws. But he was not really necessarily going to the basket. I think he only got fouled a couple times that I can really remember that there was no call. But, the Kings defense, they always play us well. Always. It's a tough battle every time we play against them for whatever reason. It's just a tough batting. But SGA, 31 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 3 blocks. We had 10 blocks last night. Isn't that crazy? 10 blocks as a team. That's a lot of blocks, but we got done what we needed to get done. Lou Dort, 35 minutes, once again, committing some stupid. He had 2 dumb fouls. I'm like, Lou, you're back. That's the reason why you were not all first team, all defense, even though you've been one of the top 5 defenders top 10 defenders in the league since you got here for the last 5 years, but you only made all defensive team one time, and that was last year. Why? Because you weren't committing stupid fouls like you're doing this year. You're back to doing what you were doing before. Great defensive players don't commit dumb fouls, and he's got to sure that up. He's got to. 4 for 9 from the field, 1 for 6 again from three. He's just, I don't know. I forget what he's shooting. We'll pull that up. What he's shooting, it's going to be even worse when we pull that up. But 13 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 turnover, but 3 fouls. And two, really, I don't know what you're doing, Lou. I mean, you're jumping right at the guy. Why are you jump to the side on a 3-point shooter? Why are you jumping right at him? He goes, guys are sticking their legs out. You know what the deal is? You're not a rookie. And you're committing rookie fouls. I mean, you should know better than that. Being first team all defense, being as good as you are. Come on, man. Come on. Aaron Wiggins, 7 for 15, 4 for 10 from three, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. A solid game from him, but once again, I just want him shooting the threes, going to the basket every now and then. When he starts doing the ball handling behind the back and all that, bro, you're doing behind the back and not going anywhere. You're not going by anybody going behind the back when you come to the lane and you go behind the back. You go behind the back to go forward. You don't go behind the back, dribble behind the back to be stagnant, to be lateral. You go behind the back to go by somebody, unless you're trying to do a behind the back step back. That's a totally different thing, which is not in your repertoire. Trying to do the left hand little, almost like a scoop move with the left hand on the left hand side, but SGA does that. The rest of y'all try. J-Dub tries to do it. Wiggins is trying to do it. You guys, y'all are trying to do what SGA does because he's been doing it for years. You're trying to do something that you got to do. Shoot that shot 1,000 times, 10,000 times, 20,000 times. There's a difference between 1,000, but 10 to 20,000 times before you can protect that shot. You're going to miss it more than often. So do it more in practice or work on it more in your off season to perfect that shot. You got to shoot it a bunch off season. In a game, it's totally different. Cason Wallace, 27 minutes, 8 points, 3 for 9, 2 for 5. 3-point shooting was better, but Cason is just, he's just not the same. I don't know what it is, but defensively, I have zero problems with what he's doing defensively. But he's not giving us what we need offensively. He's just not. I don't know what the situation is with him, but he is just not giving us what we need offensively. He's really, truly, truly, truly not. And we've got to fix that. 1 rebound, 3 assists, 1 steal, 2 turnovers. But he's playing defensively. I have zero problems with his defense. Zero problems. Really like that. Jay Will, once again, 3 points, 5 rebounds, 1 for 6. Bro, like I said earlier, he's got to be able to make threes. Barnheiser, he's the new Jang to me, is what Dag noted. That's his new project. That's what I call it. It's a new project. That's all I can see him. But it's funny that you try to hide him with SGA just like you did with Jang. And it's funny to me because I was talking about it, people are like, guys, y'all have no idea what you're looking at. You're not paying attention to when he plays, who he plays with, when he sticks him in there. Pay attention. Basketball is it's more than just running up and down the court scoring points and who wins. It's way more complicated than that, or way more intricate than that. Carlson, 2 points. I thought Brandon played good. Nice pass by Jay Will underneath the basket for the alley-oop dunk. I like Brandon Carlson. He's definitely got some weight on him, but still he doesn't give you a lot because he just doesn't have the physicality that I think we need for that spot. Great seeing him last night. 8 points, 2 for 5, 0 problems. He hit a huge, huge 3 at the end of the game. As y'all all know, those that follow me, y'all know I'm a huge Caruso fan. 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. He's phenomenal. Love him. Young blood, didn't get any shots off, played 3 minutes. They're trying to get him in there as a shooter. And, as a shooter, you had to come off the bench. You got to be able to score. And I was listening to Tim Legler the other day, and I'm laughing at him because I'm like, bro, you were a shooter, not a scorer. How the hell you gonna break down somebody that's a scorer and being critical? Shut up. You're a shooter, bro. You had no ball handling ability. All you could do was shoot. So stop you trying to dissect the game and try to talk about things you know nothing about. Calm down. AJ Mitchell, 24 points, 7 for 15, 3 for 7. AJ, once again, he's gonna get his shots up, and I like me some AJ, but at the same time, I'm like, bro, you need to really chill on some of the things that you're doing. Here's the shooting percentage from three. SGA 22%. Dort 12.5%, which is gonna go lower than that because he was 1 for 6. J. Will 18.2. Kaysen is up, but J. Will, Dort, they shoot the most open threes of anybody, and they can't knock them down. AJ Mitchell shooting 41%. But when you break this down like this, it's like the guys who are shooting wide open threes and you're not making them. J. Will 18.2, Dort 12.5. Now this does not include last night. Okay, does not include last night. And I'm like, guys, you're the one shooting. You're wide open. How the hell are you shooting 18%, 12%? You're wide open. And it's not like when you practice, you know where you shoot. You shoot from the right-hand wing, you shoot from the left-hand wing, and you shoot for the top of the key. And the one that Jay Will made last night was on top of the key, which is, by the way, the easiest shot to me to make because you're right in the middle, elbow in, shoulder back. You should knock down that shot 60% of the time from the middle of the court, from top of the key. It's just too easy to shoot. But anyway, when I look at that, I'm like, bro, 18% J. Will, wide open threes. Dort, 12.5, wide open threes. SGA is a little bit more difficult because he's very rarely shooting just with no defense on him. Very rarely is he shooting wide open threes, but he does get them occasionally. He hit a big three last night, by the way, as usual. So when you look at that and you look at what the Thunder are doing, it's just amazing to me that that we're 5-0 because, I look at our team and the fact that we are now still the youngest or second youngest team in the league, but one of the most experienced now. And, everybody talks about how you go through, by the time you get done with the NBA season, you only have a few months off. Well, in basketball, you can't take months off. You get about 3 weeks off after your season, or a couple weeks off, and let your body heal, go on a trip with the family, whatever, go wherever. Take a couple weeks off, rest your body, then get right back into it. It's like football, like the Chiefs. The longer you play, the shorter your off season is. So you take a couple weeks off, which is all you should take off anyway. Then you got to get back into the lab, back into the gym, working on your handles, working on your shot, working on your moves, working on your defense, moving your feet. Those are things you work on in the off season. It's like when in my academy, in the spring and summer, when it warms up, I give my kids a practice sheet. Homework is what we call it. Homework. You have homework. This is what you practice. You train with me 1 day a week, and then you have 6 days that you have this homework assignment that you do. Ball handling and shooting. That's all it is. Ball handling and shooting. That's it. It should take 20, 30 minutes max every day. Especially in the summertime, there's no excuse because you're not in school. So you should be able to do that, 4 to 5 times a week. Now, do I expect you to do it every day? Not unless you're a serious basketball player, then yes, every day. But if not, 4 or 5 times a week. You want to take Sunday off, cool. There's no football. There's not a lot going on. So, whatever. But anyway, that's how I break it down. Okay, guys, that's how I break it down when it comes to that. But anyway, the Thunder last night, we struggled. And it's simply because of the lineups and what we were doing. Like when we got to the game last night, we were losing 17-18 when we got to the game last night. And we had AJ, Wiggins, Kaysen, Dort, and J. Will in the game when I got there. These are my first notes, so this was who was in the game when I got there last night. And it was 3 minutes, 4 minutes to go, whatever, when I finally did the lineup. By the time we got in, got a cocktail, sat on the seats, it's 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. And then we finished it off, we were up 24-22. And we ended with SGA, AJ, Kaysen, Barnheiser, and J. Will. And that group is nice because it was mainly defense is what they were doing. AJ, not so much. But my thing with him is I noticed last night he's starting to pass the ball to SJ more, and I'm sure SJ said something to him. Listen, bro, I need you to shoot wide open threes, but at the end of the game, quit trying to take people one on one. Give me the ball, get to a spot. But I understand what AJ Mitchell's doing, and you can see, especially when SJ's down on the floor, he's going to try to be the man, and he's taking advantage of it. Like I said, why wouldn't you? You're not going to get paid $100 and whatever $1,000,000, $180 million, or whatever the max you're going to get somewhere else. You're not going to do it. For the Thunder, you don't mind so much because it's going to give you more draft picks if that's what you're looking for. Now, to me, I'm going to pay AJ Mitchell quite a bit, but you can't pay him too much because you're already paying SGA max, you're paying J-Dub max, you're paying Chet max. You still Dort's contract's coming up. You got to pay Kaysen. You got to pay Kaysen this summer, which of course you're going to give him not max, but you're going to give him $25 million or so probably. Then you've got AJ Mitchell coming up the next year. What are you going to pay him? Everybody else is already paid, so you don't have to worry about that. In fact, let me see. Do I have that here? Let's pull that up real quick. Yeah, here we go. Thunder salaries. Okay, cool. So we can go over this right now, while so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. SGA, 2027 is his last contract. When his contract ends, which is when his contract ends. Okay, 2027, and his new contract will begin. Okay, his new contract will begin then. So you got to make all these decisions at this point. Everybody's contract begins in 2028. Which is the year that we really got to worry about. 27, 28. That's when SGA's new contract kicks in. iHeart's contract kicks in at the end of 27, which is next year, remember, is 26, 27. So that's when iHeart's contract ends. We have to decide at the end of this year if we're going to extend him because it is a team option. Then you got Dort next year. So you got to figure out, do you want to extend him this summer? Or do you want to, because the end of next year, his contract's up. You got Caruso, 2030, he's fine. Chet, 2032, because remember we just did him, so he's fine. J-Dub, where's J-Dub at? He's 2032 as well. He and Chet are the exact same, so that should be 2037, 2032. I need to fix that. So that's where you're at in all this, okay, guys? Now, SGA has been extended, so his is actually 2030, but all 2028, 27, 28. That's when everything kicks in. Okay? That's when everything kicks in. Kaysen's contract kicks in. SGA's contract kicks in. Dort's everybody's contract kicks in at that particular time. What are you going to do, guys? Who are you going to? You can't keep everybody. Now, clearly, SGA, Caruso, Chet, J-Dub, Wiggins, J. Will, all of them are locked in for that year. Topic, AJ Mitchell, they're all locked in for that, okay? They're all locked into then. So what do you do at the end of next year? You got to make some decisions, okay? And the question is, do we re-sign AJ? Do we re-sign Kaysen? Hell yeah, we give him an extension. Do we give an extension to AJ Mitchell? Yes. Is it going to be what he wants? We'll see. Because when J-Dub gets back, and we have a full complement of players where it's SGA, J-Dub, Dort, Chet, iHeart, Kaysen, Caruso, and then Topic comes back. Then you got AJ Mitchell at 9. You got Wiggins at 10. And then after that, what is it? J. Will, K. Rich, Isaiah Joe. So where does Mitchell's time come in with that? Where does Topic comes in when you get those guys back? When J-Dub comes back, when Isaiah Joe comes back, when K. Rich comes back, Kendrick Williams, when they all come back, what is your timing going to be then? Where do you put everybody at that particular point? So we'll see how that's going to make it, what Sam Presti's actually going to do, because it's kind of tight when you think about it. Who are you going to re-sign? Who are you not going to re-sign? What's going to happen? Now, that being said, the Thunder have we're 5-0, so we have 5 games left, guys. 5 games left, and this is who we have in these next 5 games. Now, I had predicted us to go 8-2, no worse than 7-3. So we're halfway through our first 10 games. We're 5-0. Now, Nathan Taylor of YMB said he thought 10-0, 9-1. Now, we've gotten to three of my hardest games to me out of that first group that I figured, out of this first five, that I thought we could possibly lose one of those guys. I thought we'd either lose to the Rockets, the Mavs, or the Kings. I figured because those all games were tough, and we were triple double overtime against the Rockets. We had to close out the Mavs barely at the end of the game, and then of course we had to come back to beat the Kings because these are all three of the games that are always hardest for us to play against. Now, of course, tomorrow night the Wizards, we're going to probably beat the brakes off them as we normally do. And then Sunday, the Pelicans. That may or may not be a tough game. I don't know. 2:30. We'll see what's going to happen in that. And but that's probably going to be on FanDuel. I'm sure that game's going to be on FanDuel tomorrow. And then Sunday, I got to look at where our TV schedule is for Sunday. Where that game's probably it's a 2:30 game, so it's probably on FanDuel as well. And the Blazers, I need to go fix that. Blazers and Kings, I don't know where those games are going to be yet. But we already know FanDuel. I need to go change this up so we can fix that. Because when I did the schedule, we didn't know what the games were, except for the Rockets and the Pacers. We knew what those games were, and then the Clippers. That's going to be a hell of a game. So we should be 6-0 after Thursday. Tomorrow night we should be 6-0. Sunday, the Pelicans. I don't really know. I haven't watched them. I probably should. I have that package, so I probably should watch them on YouTube. I mean on Prime because it's tied to that to see what they are, how they're playing. I need to watch. I need to watch the Pelicans games to see what they're about. But in all honesty, if we have Chet back, we should do that. And the question is, on Thursday, do we sit SGA? He looks tired to me. He does. He hit a big, huge three to seal the game last night. But he looks tired. He's played a lot of minutes, and but the whole thing is, you can't, like I said, you can't afford to give away games. You got to get J-Dub back. Then we have the toughest part of the schedule. So we should be 7-0, no worse than 6-1 if we blow one of these next two games. Then you have the Clippers, the Blazers, and the Kings. Now, the Clippers and the Blazers are back-to-back. So you play in L.A. On Tuesday and then turn around and play the Blazers on Wednesday. So those are going to be two tough games back-to-back. And the Blazers are playing really well. And I think because of Chauncey going out and what's happened to Chauncey, I think that's really solidified or made their team come closer and harder now to beat because of that. And by the way, Jeremy Grant, who we used to have, he's a beast. Man, would you like to have him back as a 4? Oh, he's a beast. But we had to trade him at the time because we were reshuffling and we needed picks. So I have no problem with Sam Presti did, but I always liked that kid. I know his upside was crazy. Then you have the Kings again in Sacramento, and that could be a game we lose. So I still stand by 8-2, 7-3 at worst. Now to say we're going to lose 3 out of our last 5 games, our next 5, that's a stretch. 2 out of the last 5, yeah, I could see us going 3-2, 4-1. But even 5-0, we still could go 5-0. But 3-2, 3-2 would not be a hard thing. 4-1 out of our next 5, I'm not opposed to those two. But to say that those last 3 games, you have to go 2-1 in those last 3 games. To me, if you go 1-2, that's going to be tougher. But get me right where I thought we'd be 8-2, 7-3. That's what I kind of figured that we would be as a team during that stretch in that part. So we'll see what's going to happen with those last 3 games. But, playing the lineups and doing the things this is when Dagnall's going to have to do his thing because people tell, I'll say all the time, they're like, oh, well, Dagnall, he's, I'm like, no. What Dagnall is doing is that he's trying to play all these kids. You can't give away games. He's trying to give these people some time. Well, whenever we get everybody back, are these kids going to play? And Bonheiser, let's say, what's the difference between 7 minutes and 2 minutes and 4 minutes? It matters. It's possessions. You're giving away possessions. When you give away possessions, that means you're giving away points. Negative for you, positive for them. So against good teams, it's kind of harder to give away possessions. And I know that's kind of hard for some people to kind of grasp of what I'm saying, but it's about possessions. It's like in the NBA playoffs. Remember, I was talking about that. Possessions. You can't give away possessions by playing people who don't shouldn't be on the court because you're trying to, you know, coaching in the playoffs, coaching in the season are not the same thing. I don't want to see Jang in the playoffs. What for? I don't want to see him. That's just not something I want to see. I do not want to see him at all. Sorry. That's just me and how I look at it. Let's go ahead and pay some bills. I want to thank SRB if you have needs for engineering, surveying, or planning. Hit our guys up over there. They love to take care of you, especially if you have a water treatment plant in your city or county. Those guys would love to make sure you have clean drinking water. Oak Grove Trucking, if you have needs for dirt, rock, sand to be moved, hit our guys up over there. They love to take care of you and make sure everything is fantastic. Love those guys. And then, of course, YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender and a member of the FDIC. Proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the Oklahoma City area. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. Or you go into one of their 5 locations, the main bank at 401 Elm, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma, and US 66. YNB East was off the Parkway and 39th Expressway, or US 66. YB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YB Parkway, which is off Garth Brooks, and I-40, just south of I-40, right there on Garth Brooks, in front of the Fairfield Hotel, not the Fairmont. And then, of course, YB Peoples, located on 23rd and Bethany between Rockwell and MacArthur. And then, of course, last but not least, the House of Creed, handcrafted since 1760. Guys, I can't tell you how good this stuff smells. I get compliments all the time. Oh my God, you smell so good. What is that? Tell me it's Creed. They go, oh, I've heard of that stuff. Does smell good? Yes, it does. For women and men. And as they always say, Matt, remember, pick the best for your best. So go into one of these locations, the Penn Square Mall, East Dillard's is the men's department. The West Dillard store on the west side of the mall is the women's department. You go to Town East Mall in Wichita, which I'm going to be going to sometime in the next 4 or 5 months. Oak Park Mall in Overland Park, Kansas. Park Plaza Mall in Little Rock. South Plains Mall in Lubbock. And then the Westgate Mall in Amarillo. Don't know if I'm ever going to make those bottom 4. But we'll see. Maybe I'll slide in on a Saturday or something when I have an off day, or a Sunday or something. We may try to make it work. But that's a long, long drive. I get to see my goddaughter Courtney and her lovely husband, or her great husband, my lovely goddaughter and her great husband, Clay. Love both of them. They are lovely people. Love them both, and they're amazing. And I appreciate the way that he takes care of my goddaughter. Love her. Love him, too. Way to go, Clay. Good man. Now, last night in baseball, of course, the Dodgers and the Blue Jays played again, and they'll play game 5, I believe it's tonight. So we'll see what's going to happen. And I know tomorrow's a travel day, and then they play Friday and Saturday, game 6 and game 7. So tonight, what do we always say? In a 7-game series, games 3, games 5 are the most important games. Now, I would say games 3, 4, and 5. And I've changed that a little bit, but 3 and 5 are really important. But 3, 4, and 5 are your most important games. Like with the Thunder. In the playoffs, we are 0 at game 3s. We lost to Denver, we lost to Minnesota, and we lost to Indianapolis, or the Pacers. And we lost to Dallas the year before. Okay? But we beat Dallas in game 4. We beat the Nuggets game 4. We beat the Pacers game 4, which were pivotal games. And, of course, we came back, won game 5 against the Pacers, won game 5 against the Nuggets, lost game 5 last 2 years ago against the Mavericks. So we've learned that you have to win games 4 and 5 if you lose a game at home. But take care of home, like I always say, take care of home first. If you take care of home, you ain't got to worry about nothing else. And all Toronto did was take care of, bring the home court field back, bring back home court advantage. That's all they did, a home field advantage. They win game 1, lose game two. Dodgers now have the lead. Dodgers win game three to go up 2-1, and then Toronto comes back last night, win game four. All they did is send everything back to uh, Toronto. So now game five, once again, is the reason why it's so important is because game five, the winner of game five usually wins most 7-game series. What, 60 or 70% of them? Why? Because you only have to win one out of 2 games if you win game five because you're up 3-2. So all you got to do is win one out of two. That's all you got to do. The other team has to win back-to-back or has to win 2 games. So it's a lot harder for that to happen. And usually the best team, if the best team wins game five, they usually either win 6 or game seven. Now, in our case, against Denver, we win game five to go up 3-2, go back to Denver, lose game six, come home, close them out game seven. The Pacers win game five at home, lose game six there in Indianapolis, and win game seven back here in Oklahoma City. So that's usually what happens and how it's broken out when you have to break those down. So anyway, Dodgers, huge game tonight that they've got to win, got to win tonight at home at Chavez Ravine in order to take the 3-2 lead to go back to Toronto for Friday and Saturday's game six and game seven. And people talk about resting pitchers. Hey, you got off season rest. This is what October. So November 1st is the first game of November. That's game seven. So you have all of November, you have all of December, you have all of January to get ready in February. You got to come back for spring training, I believe. So you have 3 months to rest. So put it all on the line. Don't leave anything out there and get it done. Now, of course, I hope the Dodgers, of course, win. They're one of my favorite teams. They were my dad's favorite team, of course, back when they were in Brooklyn and they moved to L.A. because they are the team that brought Jackie Robinson in and made all the difference. And so that was a huge thing for me. So now the NFL schedule tomorrow is this. Well, you know what? Before that, let me do this real quick. Let's get back to the NBA. Let's do this one last thing real quick, okay? I did my power rankings, and we were going to do them yesterday, but I just forgot because everything was running so fast, so I didn't get a chance to do it yesterday. But anyway, the NBA power rankings as of today, okay? As of today, here are my power rankings. Number one, we have the Thunder, of course. 2, I did not change it. The Nuggets are number 2. The Cavs are number 3. The Knicks are number 4. And the Warriors 5. That's my top 5. I don't know how you feel, Angel. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but Thunder, Nuggets, Cavs, Knicks, Warriors. The Warriors I've been watching them play. They're scary. Remember, I did not have the Spurs in there because remember I was talking about I didn't know how Wembanyama would be playing, and so I did not have them in my original preseason power rankings. But they were asking me about that. And I was like, well, I got to see them play. I don't know how Victor's hurt. I don't know what the situation is with them. But after watching them play, for sure, they're number 6. Clippers number 7. The Bucks are playing much better than I anticipated they would play. The T-Wolves 9. I'm not kicking the Rockets out. They double overtime. They're playing good. They need Van Fleet. When they get him back, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. But those are my rankings right now. Over under 68 wins. For the Thunder, I went under. Burgess. Let me see. Let me put up my Thunder over under for you because we did that early in the year. Let me see. Where did I put my Thunder over under? I did the over under and I put us at Ace. What are you wanting? My baby boy's being a handful right now. He's being very needy for whatever reason. I don't know what his situation is. He's so spoiled. It's pathetic. I don't know where he gets it at. But anyway, I have us at 62 wins. Burgess is what I have us at. Okay. I thought that the maximum we would win, the high was 70. 62 and a half, I believe, is the over-under. 62 and a half, I think, is over-under. I think I had us at 64, bottom 58. I think I had 64 wins. I had us at 58 as the low. And then I think I had us at 70 as the maximum wins, I believe is how I had it broken down. Burgess. In fact, wait, hold on. I can do that. Let me do this. I can pull it up and tell you exactly uh, the way I had it. Let me see. Thunder. Uh, I'll tell you right now. I can pull it up right here on my computer. Okay. I had win 63. My high was 70, and the low was 59. Okay, Burgess. So 63 wins. The projected 62 and a half. So I had us over. Uh, and then the high, the maximum, I thought we'd get 70 wins. So 70 and 12 would be crazy for us this year. 59. And to get a chance to get that high, I believe, Burgess, that we'd have to go 10 and 0 in these first 10 games to even remotely reach uh, that standard. Okay, if that's able to happen, we'd have to win all of our. We'd have to win. We'd have to start out and have to win these games. We'd have to go 10 and 0 in our first 10 games in order to get that. But 64, 70 max, and then 60. What was it? 63. Was it 64? 63 wins over under. So I took the over on that at 63, and then I had 70 is the max is what I had. So I'd go under, over under 68 wins under, and then if we do exceptional 70, and then if we don't 59. That's what I had. This is a high and low. So for the Thunder this year, Burgess. Okay, tomorrow night you have a huge game. The Ravens and the Dolphins. The Dolphins plus 8.5. I think with Lamar coming back, they're going to smash the Dolphins. That's what I think is going to happen. I think they're going to beat the brakes off of them because I don't think the Dolphins. I think Mike McDaniel's tenure there is pretty much done. Then of course tomorrow we will give the updated rankings or updated odds because they do change. These was as of yesterday, so we'll see. Falcons and the Patriots. That's going to be a better game. They got to get Penix back. To me, they've got to get him back. But minus 5.5. Patriots favorite. Drake May is playing really, really, really good. So, but I will take the Patriots. I think at home to handle their business because Mike Vrabel still don't know why they let him go. The Tennessee Titans. There's some organizations that it's just, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Bears and the Bengals. Uh, I don't even want to watch that game. Hopefully that's not on TV. I doubt if it will be in Oklahoma simply because of Caleb. They won't have them on. But I if I have the choice between Colts and Steelers, Niners and Giants on my CBS games, those first 5 games, uh, I'm not going to have the Bears and Bengals. That's a game I don't really care. But if I had to pick a team, I'm probably going to take the Bengals because I don't think the Bears secondary can handle the Bengals. Colts and Steelers. I think the Colts are going to beat up on the Steelers. I really do. The Steelers' defense has not been what they've been paid to be, and I love me some Mike Tomlin, but dude, you're defensive minded, and you're just not. You have to be offensive minded in this game today. He's just not. It's unfortunate. He is just really not. Broncos and Niners and the Giants. Giants plus 2.5. I think the Niners are going to come in and handle their business. I do. After last week, I think the Niners are going to do what they need to do to get that W. Uh, Broncos and the Texans. I think the Texans and what they did last week against the 49ers, I'm not buying it. I'm just not. I'm not buying C.J. Stroud. I'm just not. I think the Broncos are going to handle their business. I don't think he can handle the pressure. Typical Ohio State quarterback. Another one bites the dust. That's how I look at it. Broncos and Texans, I just don't see it. I think the Broncos handle their business in Texas to keep a stranglehold of the West. As far as the overall schedule now, they're 1-0 or 0-1 in the conference. The Chargers have the advantage 3-0 in the conference because they beat the Chiefs and they beat the Raiders and they beat the Browns. So they're 3-0 in the conference. So they beat everybody in their conference once. So the Chargers have the stranglehold in that conference, but the Broncos have the best record overall in the conference. But it matters in conference. Vikings and the Lions. I think that's going to be a beatdown for the Vikings. They don't have a quarterback. If J.J. McCarthy comes back, maybe, but I just see the Lions throwing a tear right now, and I'll show you in my power rankings. I just think the Lions are going to beat up on the Vikings. Uh, don't know why they didn't re-sign Sam Darnold. We were not a quarter. We're not the coach. We're not in the room, so we don't know what his deficiencies were. But clearly, whatever they were not worth signing a long-term contract to for them to do. So clearly, that was the case. It did not get done. So that's the situation with them. Then, of course, the Jaguars and the Raiders. To be honest, is anybody going to watch that? I'm not watching it. And then you have the Saints and the Rams. Is anybody going to watch that? The Rams are going to beat the brakes off the Saints. And Spencer Rattler, he had his chance, but I've not been a fan of his. I did not. I don't like guys that are arrogant and don't have the skill set to match the arrogance of what they are or the way they act. I don't like that. Like I said, I didn't like Baker Mayfield. I like Baker now. I like how he's changed. He still has some of that little cockiness that's starting to seep through here and there. Baker, don't now that you're doing good, don't let that come out, bro. Don't keep that bottled. Don't get back to the old Baker where you feel like you the man. Don't do that. Please don't do that. And Spencer Rattler is like that. Jalen Hurts is not. Kyler is kind of like that a little bit, but when you look at the OU quarterbacks, uh, you had Baker first, then you had Kyler. Both of those had success early. Uh, Kyler's been hurt, hasn't been able to stay healthy. Baker had success, got hurt, dropped, and now he's on his way back up. Jalen Hurts is just playing good. He's just consistent. He's still not the best thrower of the football, but in the winter when it gets cold, what do you have to be able to do? Run the football and then make plays here and there, which of course he's able to do. The tush push to me, the Chiefs, you were offsides and they didn't call it. That was a fumble the other day. They didn't call it. I don't think they. I think they need to get rid of it because they don't know how to officiate it. I just don't think they know how to officiate it. I really don't. So if you can't officiate it properly, don't have it in there. That's my thought process on it. So anyway, when you look at the OU quarterbacks, then of course Spencer Rattler, he got his chance to start. I just I and then it, I didn't like his attitude when he was at OU, his cockiness and the way he was. We all, if you're really really good, you have some sort of cockiness. Not those guys. He's arrogant, not cocky. He's arrogant. You have to have some sort of cockiness. I had my side of cockiness. Randy Wright, the commander, had Keys Player of the year before I was in high school, so he had confidence, or he was cocky, but not arrogant. There's a huge difference between the two. There just is. Then you have the Chiefs and the Bills. Oh, I forgot Caleb. And Caleb, to me, Caleb is just his skill level is so off script and be able to do things. He's going to have to be able to make the basic plays. And right now, it doesn't seem like he's being able to do that consistently. But like I said, to me, this is his first year actually having a real coach in professional football. I think next year, I think you keep him for this year. Next year, you see what he's got. You see who he is. That's what you do. If there's not growth by the end of this year, and then you have one more year because they have one full year under Ben Johnson. If he doesn't get better next year, then you move on. That's how I look at Caleb. Athletic, crazy, skill, crazy like Mahomes. They were trying to compare him to Mahomes. They're like, no, we're not. Mahomes makes stuff easy, and it's like I was watching this guy, listening to this guy yesterday. He's a guy, another Mahomes hater, because he used to coach Tom Brady, of course, so he's a Brady guy. And I was like, I'm laughing because he's like, oh, his off script plays. Okay. The pocket breaks down. He doesn't really have, he's got missing 3 offensive linemen. And what are you trying to say? He's not going to try to make plays outside the pocket or get out. Yeah, but the thing with Mahomes is he very rarely runs. He's not a running quarterback. He's a guy who extends plays in order to make the play work. When the play breaks down and it's not open originally, he will make a play and get open and buy time in order to make a play. Now, granted, the fact that he has an arm that he can throw it 40 yards across field, yes. He can throw it 50 yards down the field or 60 yards down the field, off script, off balance, off one leg, yes. He does have he does have that ability. So does Caleb. The difference is Mahomes is, I think, is smarter and more, what's the word I'm looking for? He's more, he has the ability to be more instinctive than Caleb does as far as what's going on. Angel says, I like Caleb Williams. He's just young. He showed his potential since his rookie year. Yes, Angel, that's what I was saying is that this year with Ben Johnson, this is his first year with an actual coach. So we'll see. I think you give him until next year. If he doesn't improve next year, you move on. That's how I see Caleb. But potentially, he's got Mahomes stuff. He has Mahomes' abilities and ability to do things that Mahomes does. He just doesn't have. I don't know if he has the instinct or the mental smarts that Mahomes does. Because remember, Sean Payton was talking about how when he came to interview Mahomes when he was a coach at the Saints, and Mahomes, he brought up a play, and Mahomes like, oh yeah, there was 2 years, it was 2 years before. Oh yeah, it was blah blah blah. Third down and 7, we were on the 42-yard line. This is the defense they ran. Here's the offensive play we called. He had it all down, knowing exactly what he was talking about. How many quarterbacks can really, really do that? That's the difference between the two. Chiefs and the Bills, another showdown during the regular season. The Bills own them. I think the Chiefs has only beat them once in the last 5 years. During the regular season, I think they beat them during the COVID year when there was nobody in the stands in Buffalo. I think that's the last time they beat them during the season. And of course, they beat them every time in the playoffs. But I just think I think the Chiefs, they can't afford to drop a game. After going 0-2, they've won 5 out of their last 6. I don't think they can afford. They blew a game. They should have won 6-6, but they've won 5 out of the last 6. I think you got to continue to move. Buffalo's defense is not that great, but once again, they do have Josh Allen. They do have Josh Allen. These are the two best quarterbacks in the league without question. I don't think anybody can say anything different. You want to add in Lamar. I think it's Josh 2A, Lamar 2B, Joe 3, Joe Burrow 3. Everybody else is kind of mixed in there quite a bit together, but that's how I break down that grouping and how those guys are all broken down. I believe it's Josh. I believe it's Mahomes 1, clearly. Josh 2A, Lamar 2B, Joe 3, and then after that you can pick who you want. Herbert 4. Well, I mean, you can kind of pick who you really want to go down. In fact, we do have the NFL top quarterbacks here, top 10 quarterbacks. We'll do that here in just a second when we get through this. Seahawks and Commanders for the late game. If Jaden Daniels is not playing, that game is going to be, I'll be drinking and doing something else. I won't be watching that if Jalen Daniels is not playing. I like Marcus Mariota, but if Daniels is not playing, I'm not interested. And then Monday night, Cardinals and Cowboys. If I don't know if Kyler's going to play, but I think he'd want to play because he is from Texas, from Dallas area. So I would assume that he'd want to play that game. Boy, I bet you he's got 50 tickets that he's got to get for that game because all the people who are going to want to come watch him play against the Cowboys if he plays. And I'm not sure if he's going to, but Kyler, they have zero chance if Kyler's not playing. That's how I look at it. Zero chance to beat the Cowboys. I mean, there's always a chance. I won't say zero. There's always a chance, 5%. I don't give him a whole lot, but I give him 5% chance to beat the Cowboys in Dallas. And I'll put that up higher if he is playing. Now, here's my, that's not what I did. That's my Mount Rushmore, so that doesn't work. Okay, let's do this instead. Let's do our NFL power rankings. Okay, here are my power rankings that I just did. Okay, because I thought I was going to do my top 10 quarterbacks, but I don't have that. That's my Mount Rushmore of top coach quarterbacks of all time. That's kind of how I had it broken down. Angel, I always mix up Jaden Daniels and Jaden McDaniels. Yeah, they're two totally different people. Oh man, Jaden Daniels and Jaden McDaniels. Yes, I agree. Those are two hell of a players, by the way. Both of them are very, very good at what they do. Yeah, anyway, my NFL power rankings. I've got the Colts 1, Chiefs 2. Now remember they play in what, 4 weeks, 3 4 weeks? Because I know the Chiefs play the Bills this week. They have an off week, and then they have a couple. So I think they're playing 3 weeks from today. I think 3 or 4 weeks. Colts 1, Chiefs 2, Lions 3, Packers 4. The Packers are they're slowly getting there. They've got a running game. Quarterback, when he's not throwing stupid passes, are really, really tough to beat. The Eagles are just the Eagles. They are. Even with the article that you go read uh, uh, about Brown and about what he said, and it makes you feel sorry for him a little bit, but uh, it makes you kind of understand why he is the way he is. So kind of gives you a little bit more insight why he and you're talking about AJ Brown, why he and oh my God, my mind just went blank. I keep doing that. Jalen Hurts, how why he and Hurts are not closer, but you would think a quarterback and wide receiver would be closer, especially if that's your guy, because Mahomes and Kelsey, that's his guy. Their wives are tight. They're tight. I don't. I mean, if this is my number one guy, we tight. We hanging. We're going to have dinner. We're hanging out. My girl and his girl better be friends, and so we can all hang out as a foursome and go do stuff. Sorry, I want to be close to my guy, especially if that's my guy. 6, I've got the Seahawks. 7, the Rams. 8, the Bucks. 9, the Broncos. And 10, the Bills. And I just have the Bills so far down there because they have Josh Allen who's right there in my top 10, but I worry about their defense, their secondary. But Josh Allen, he's he's a beast. He just is. Uh, they've got a good running game, so we'll see what's going to happen with them. But that's my breakdown, and that's what happened. And of course, tomorrow we'll have our college. We'll do more of our stuff with college tomorrow. And then, of course, tomorrow night, once again, the Thunder play the Wizards, which I don't know what that line is. I'm sure it's something crazy, but we'll know more about it tomorrow, what the line is about the Thunder game tomorrow night. Of course, what is this, our third home game now. Our first home game was against the Rockets. Then we played 3 away games. Then we played last night against the Kings. Then we have the Wizards tonight, and then we have the Pelicans on Sunday. So the Thunder need to be 7-0 going into that last 3-game stretch against the Clippers, the Kings, and the Blazers. So you go Clippers, Blazers on back-to-back, then the Kings to close it out before we come back, and then, of course, we'll give you our next 10 after we get done with that. So I want to thank Angel. Thank you for coming on and giving me your input. Burgess, thank you for coming in. Haven't seen you in a while. And I appreciate you guys' support and what we're doing here. That being said,